Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Eva and I'm an early years teacher and a parenting consultant. Today I would like to react to one of the videos of Jubilee called Free Range versus Strict Parents. Is spanking your kids ever okay? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Okay, so I typed free range parenting into Google search and the first website that came up is Good Housekeeping. So they say free range parenting aims to foster independence in children by giving them greater autonomy and less adult supervision. So the term free range parenting was coined by, I'm so sorry if I don't pronounce her name right, Lenore Skenazy, who famously let her 9-year-old son find his way home on the New York City subway system alone. Okay, let's have a look at another website. Wikipedia. Free-range parenting is the concept of raising children in the spirit of encouraging them to function independently and with limited parental supervision in accordance of their age development and with a reasonable acceptance of realistic personal risks. Well, basically free-range parenting means, in a way, I think it's a very broad term. I guess everybody is using this term in a way they understand what it means for them.
It's a luxury to be a free-range parent because there is a certain privilege that goes with that.
Being a strict parent, I think, first of all, I imagine stress. Should be a really fun time of your life. Why follow all these rules when you want to enjoy your kids?
Well, you can enjoy being with your kids even if you follow some rules. And interesting, she thinks that strict parents are more stressed out than free-range parents. Just because somebody is strict doesn't mean that that person is more stressed out. I don't know.
Hi to everybody. I'm Lenore Skenazy. I'm the mother of 2, and I founded the book, blog, and movement Free Range Kids. I founded the Free Range Kids movement. I let my 9-year-old ride the subway in New York City by himself. I wrote a column, and 2 days later I was on the Today Show, MSNBC, Fox News, and NPR defending my parenting style.
That must have been awful, to be honest, to defend your parenting style. Yeah, people can be very nasty. Well, I don't judge her actions, obviously, but I would probably not do such thing. But it doesn't mean that I think it's bad. It's just maybe I wouldn't stress about that, you know. Maybe my son would be able to do the same. On the other hand, I know that I'm a very sensitive person and I don't want to stress about that one as well, that thing like, oh, my son is on the subway by himself and he is only 9 years old. I don't want the stress in my life.
So can I have my free range parents on the left and my strict parents on the right?
See you later, free range parents.
Children should be trusted to make their own decisions.
Wow, I think this question is very vague. I mean, what do you mean by children? What kind of decisions are we talking about?
Decision. They expected that I was the one to decide almost everything about what they were eating and doing, and I felt like there was something wrong, and that actually started me reevaluating things. And can they climb the tree? Just let them climb the tree.
And what's the worst that can happen? They break an arm?
Right, yeah.
Oh well.
Well, you know what? Breaking an arm is quite painful. I once broke my arm. My brother once broke his leg. Well, it's not fun. It's not fun. But I do agree that, you know, climbing trees is fine. I used to climb trees. Well, I tried at least. And sometimes without adult supervision. Oopsie. I'm not saying that my parents didn't, you know, look after me or anything like this. No, they did look after me. But maybe actually they were using, you know, some kind of free-range parenting methods. On the other hand, they were very strict as well. So this is why when I'm watching this video, I keep thinking like, these are not two separate things. I do think there is a middle ground, and I do think that you can be both. You can take elements from here and from here and just, be you.
Well, for my kids specifically, she can go outside and play after school, and she can draw, and she can do whatever, but there is a very healthy boundary. Like, we don't have the type of healthcare that most people have. So, like, no, you can't climb the tree. If
That's, that's sad. That's interesting and sad.
it's like, oh, I don't want to play violin anymore, but it's like, you're not allowed to quit things that you start, because even as an adult, you become a flaky adult.
But that's interesting what she said. Did she say that if, for example, her child started doing something, then she needs to finish that? Otherwise, when she grows up, she's going to be what kind of adult? Like an adult who would, not finish anything in her life. Well, I don't agree. I don't think it is this simple. It's absolutely not this simple and not so straightforward. Even as an adult, you start doing something, you have the right to stop. You have the right to stop and then go back and do it again, maybe, because sometimes you just realize in the middle of it then that you just don't like doing it, or you are not good at it and you don't feel comfortable doing it, or you have different plans. Things can change. I think you just have to be very flexible, and then you have to assess the situation, like why, for example, why would your child stop playing on the violin?
As the child grows and as you as a parent train that child, then more freedom should be granted to make their own decisions.
But I don't think we should train our children. I feel like you train a dog and not a kid.
I think train is a good word.
I don't want a trained child.
Okay.
Okay, train. Yeah, I don't like that word either. Actually, I think, training does have a different meaning, and I wouldn't use this word. It just sounds bad. It does mean something else than raising children or educating children or teaching children. You can train your child at a PE class, When we think about physical activities, then okay, you're training, right? But
I don't really follow rules. Even if it's a theory of free-range parenting per se, if you're following those free-range parenting rules, then you become strict. And I don't think that there should be rules. It should be whatever the day brings.
But if whatever the day brings means actually that, I think it means that there are rules. That I think there is no such thing as world without rules. There are always rules. There is always a rule. There are always some kind of rules. And she says it as well at the end, whatever the day brings. So if whatever the day brings, it means it brings something. Therefore, there are rules on that day. I think. No? Or what does she mean by that? Because I cannot imagine her at home being with her children, and children just, they do whatever they want. I don't think so. I think she would say, oh please, now you have to, or if she doesn't say now, but she would definitely say something like, we have to wash our teeth because we have to keep our teeth healthy to be able to chew, let's say. Then that's a rule. Children at one point need to wash their teeth, you know what I mean? So there are always rules, I think.
Kids deserve privacy.
In our household, we live by this kind of thought. Live your life in such a way that if everyone could see what you're doing in private, that you wouldn't be ashamed. So my kids also look through my phone.
It's not about doing something bad when you are alone. I just don't get this. Privacy is not about breaking the rules, let's say, or not being good. Privacy is having privacy. That's it. It's not good or bad.
I actually agree with the definition of downtime and privacy. At my house, there's no privacy because you don't pay any bills.
Well, I think, it's just, okay. Let me process that. So basically she said that no one should have privacy unless that person pays the bills. Man, I don't agree with that. I'm very, very sorry. But, you know, now your child, let's say 5 years old or 10 years old, that child is going to turn to, I don't know, 15. She's going to have a phone. Now, just because she doesn't work yet, so she doesn't pay the bills, does it entitle you to have access to her phone all the time? I mean, this just sounds a little bit weird for me. Especially now, I think it's not mainly about, but I think it is somehow about trusting each other. And if you don't trust your kid and your kid doesn't trust you, I don't know, that's a problem. And the solution is not that you make everything accessible. That's not how trust grows, or you establish trust. You establish trust when you trust in your children, basically, and don't check their phone.
Parents should be parents and not friends.
Ooh. As a child, she was my mom, and I hope to have that type of relationship with my daughter. But right now, I'm the parent and you're the child, because I don't want you to lose respect for me. Like, I'm not gonna go clubbing with my daughter. Like, there's just some things that I'm just not gonna do.
Now, just because you try to be a friend, other than a parent to your child, doesn't mean that your child is going to be disrespectful. Or, yeah, it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like this amongst friends. You know what I mean? For example, I respect my friends, so why would I not respect my mom if she wanted to be my friend?
In my mind, once my kids are 18, or let's just say moved out of the house, they are an adult. And at that point, I want to stop parenting. If I haven't parented enough by the time they're 18, then that was my chance. I don't want to be a parent after 18. And when it comes to clubbing, I hope that when my kid is old and grown up and they're going out for a beer at a bar or whatever they're doing, of course I want to come with them.
But here,
well, I don't know. Yeah, it's up to her, obviously. But I would say you never stop parenting in a way, because you never stop being their parents. And therefore, there is always a certain level of parenting. It can be that, and you're obviously not going to parent them in the sense of like you parent your toddler, you parent your preschooler, you parent your teenager. You're obviously not going to parent your adult son or daughter. On the other hand, you will never stop being their parent. Therefore, there is always be some kind of, that kind of connection, that kind of parenting connection, even though you're not going to parent them in a way you used to.
you don't need to
No.
get hugged or have
I
the
speak
love
to
and
her like
comfort.
she's my friend
Okay.
now. And I think I spoke to her as my friend when I was growing up as well, because she didn't parent. I had no rules.
I mean, I think it's just, my problem is I don't really know how to interpret her words. So that's my problem, obviously. And what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below.
Spanking your child is an acceptable form of punishment.
What? I don't want to get involved at all.
Yeah, this is not.
Do we have to?
We don't have to do it at all.
I don't even want to
I'm still
stand
thinking.
back here.
Well, yeah, so I'm kind of saddened that nobody else walked forward, because not only do I think it's an acceptable form of punishment, but I think it's one of the best. And the reason is because it's effective, it's quick, it's over, it's done, and the kid can go off and play again and not have to sit in a corner or languish in a room or something like that.
I don't think it works like this all the time. I do agree that sometimes physical punishment can bring very quick results, but it doesn't mean that therefore physical punishments are the best punishments. You cannot draw such conclusion. It's not as simple as that. For example, if the physical punishment worked in a way that the child stopped doing the thing you wanted him to stop doing, you will never know why the child stopped, because the child stopped that activity maybe because he was afraid of getting spanked again, or maybe because he realized that it's not a good thing. But the main important thing here is that if you want your child to stop doing something or do something different or differently, what is your main goal? Your main goal is to teach your children to think why that particular thing is not good for them, or why it is not good for someone else, therefore they have to stop doing it. Or you want your child to cook for themselves, or you want your child to do the dishes sometimes. You then need to achieve that that your child realizes why he needs to do the dishes sometimes, because then he will help you and that feels good. Or he will help you because you are sick and that's a good thing to do. You want your child to realize things, why you want them to do certain things or why you want them to stop doing certain things. So that's your aim. The aim is not to make them stop doing things or make them start doing things. The aim is to make them realize why they should do certain things and why they should not do certain things. This is what you are aiming for, because that will give you a long-term result. If you hit a child because you want the child to stop running in the house, you might be lucky in a way when if your child stops running. But what if he will run again after 10 minutes or run again tomorrow because he didn't get the right message? What message did you give him? That you don't want him to run now, but he doesn't really know why. He doesn't know the reason. Therefore, he might do it again and again. And who knows, maybe you're not going to be that lucky that he's going to stop running and he's going to do it even more. Because you don't give him or her the right message.
As a parent, you can lose your patience, and that happens. We would just kind of like slap him on the hand when he did something, like, don't do that, don't do that. And I remember one time he did something and he started becoming more self-aware and he started hitting himself on the hand and hitting himself. And
so one of the ways toddlers learn is through copying. So yeah, you have to be careful what you're doing.
I sometimes fear I'm raising my children the wrong way.
Well, I guess lots of parents question their own decisions and parenting styles, and that's okay. I think that's normal, and I think it should be like this. You should question yourself, your actions. You should, think why you did things and what you could done better or what you could do better next time. But you shouldn't worry too much. You shouldn't be too harsh on yourself.
the beautiful thing about parenting is not what you're teaching your child, but sometimes what you're learning with your child.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do agree. Me as a teacher or you as a parent, you're not just parenting and I'm not just teaching. I am learning with the kids and you are learning with your kids, because there is always something to learn about. You learn about your own actions, you learn about your kid, and then you learn together. Your kids teach you, kids teach me to be a better person, to do things better, to do things in a better way. We always teach each other and learn from each other in a way. So that's it for today. Please let me know where you are standing at and why. Let's have a nice conversation down below in the comment section. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel and see you next time.